Good afternoon, Littleton. Today is Thursday, May 29th, and this is 01460 On the Go, the podcast for Littleton by Littletonians. I'm Karen Morrison from the Select Board, and with me today is Alicia Day, the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Community Education here in Littleton. And as always, Jim Duggan, our town administrator, is here as well.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Littleton.
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about, I billed this at any rate as a summer preview by Parks and Rec. So
Yep.
you're well underway in your preparation, including some extensive work with your staff last week. Is that right?
Yeah, so we have extensive programs that happen over the summer, but there's a lot of buildup, usually in winter and spring, to get us to that place. So we have about 90 youth, we'll call them youth, I always call them kids, but sometimes they're a little bit older, that work for us over the summer. So we have to go through that process of interviewing, hiring all of those wonderful 90 people. A majority of them are actually from Littleton, which is fantastic.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah, so the last few weeks we've been doing, we had an all-staff training. We have the fire department come in, police. We had Jim come in and speak to the kids just to let them know, the community's here to support them if they need it. And then this past week we have finished our Red Cross Pro Rescuer CPR AED and first aid. So all of our staff is trained. We did the recertification, so folks that have already gone through the full training. And then coming up next week, we'll have the full 8-hour training for people that have never had any experience with it. So, we do all of that in-house and make sure that everybody's ready to go for an awesome and safe summer.
So you're already in the thick of it.
Yeah.
It's not even June yet.
No.
But the environment, what I thought, what I was impressed about tremendously was the environment of during the recent event Alicia was referring to on that Thursday night in the retraining. There was tremendous amount of engagement. The attitude was great. Kids were just it was fun. It was a very, very happy, upbeat, excited environment that can't wait for the summer to get going, and it was great. Very well done by Alicia and Tim and the team. Very well.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
And all this is in preparation for
All
summer.
of our summer programs.
And I feel like
Yeah.
the sort of centerpiece of your summer program is Camp T.
That's correct.
Can you
Yeah.
tell everyone about Camp T?
Yeah, absolutely. So Camp T is a program that has been run for decades now. It's one of the oldest programs Parks and Rec here in Littleton has run. It runs from kindergarten through 5th grade, and we just have, like Jim was just saying, the most amazing counselors. A lot of them are kids that grew up throughout the whole program and then still want to work there. So it's just amazing. But the camp experience, it's a week long, so there's about 7 weeks throughout the summer.
And you can mix and, sorry to interrupt, but you
Yeah.
can mix and match, right? You can sign up for week 1 and week 4. You don't have to sign
100%.
up for all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you do have to sign up for a week,
A whole week,
but
yeah.
you don't have to do all 7 if you don't want to. So each week has a theme. Each group of kids is split up into different groups, and they all have fun names like bobcats, tigers, wolves, things like that. It's really sweet. And so the kids, every single group has their own schedule that they run throughout the day. And every day, for the majority, unless there's bad weather, they do get the chance to go down to Long Lake Beach. So that's something that's a bit unique to our program as compared to other programs around. So, it's just a phenomenal program, like I said, that we've been running for decades. It's great.
And it's a full day program?
Full day program. So it starts from 8:30 in the morning, goes till 3:30. And if parents need before or after care, we do have options with that.
Nice, nice. And so what's a day sort of look like? I'm sure
Yeah.
it varies between the ages, but what would a typical day at Camp T sort of involve?
That's very funny. So we have a parent handbook that has all of the answers to these questions.
Perfect.
So, a typical day, They're going to be able to do, so like Monday, they're always going to have, they have this camp meeting every morning. And it's just like the most amazing things because the kids get so excited and they get to yell and scream and like, cheer for their specific groups. And then they kind of run them through like an orientation. So I want to see if we have specific. And then each of the days we have specialists. So there is a technology specialist, a sports specialist, an art specialist, a music specialist, and a science specialist.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And so each of those specialists will come up with specific programs that are age specific. So obviously if they're doing something, I don't know, let's say they're making slime. They're going to do a different version that they would with the kindergartners than they would with the kids in 5th grade. They rotate through all of those different specialists to get to do all those programs, and then they get that time down at the beach as well.
Nice.
So that's kind of like a typical day.
Yeah.
And then the only odd day out is a Friday. And the Friday, we usually take the whole camp on a field trip somewhere.
Okay, so what are some examples of Camp T field trips?
Yeah, so I have them all right here. So Breezy Picnic Grounds, it's a place that we've gone to for years.
yeah.
It has like a couple of water slides.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the kids love that one.
That's a great place.
We have Canopy Lake, so we'll split them up between the older kids and the younger kids. So the older kids will go to Canopy Lake, and the younger kids will go somewhere like Connor Farms. The Water Park of New England. So that used to be, it's Danvers. I think there was a different name for it. It's like connected with one of the hotels, but it's pretty awesome. Urban Air Adventure Park. They get to kind of run around and just hang on all kinds of things and, bounce on trampolines and go wild. Boston Museum of Science and the Children's Museum. So those are kind of, the rundown of the ones that we have going on this summer.
That's awesome. And then there's, Camp T is sort of a general sort of typical summer camp experience. I was looking through the programs that you're offering this summer, and it looked like there were lots of other specialty programs available as well.
Yeah.
So if Camp T doesn't sound like the perfect thing, which I can't imagine, but let's pretend.
There's plenty of families
Right?
sometimes you just don't have time. So we do have some half-day programs, or maybe parents want to work more on enrichment over the summer. So we do have a summer program called LEAP, which is Littleton Enrichment After-School Programs. We do use it year-round. But that is completely focused on doing STEM programs, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So we have all kinds of things where you've got something called Challenge Island, and that's one, like I said, mentioning slime. This is a really cool program where they base recipes of slime based off of best-selling children's books. So you could use your imagination, but certain things like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Harry Potter.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, so the kids get to learn all these different recipes on how to make specific types of slime.
Oh, that's fantastic.
They also have another one that's kind of focused off of I can't say the specific name, but a quest to catch, collect, and train mini monsters all over the island.
Okay. I think I catch your drift there.
And they tackle engineering challenges along the way for that entire week. There's chess. There's Circuit Lab, which is a program, obviously all based off of circuitry engineering. So they get to, there's two different programs for that. So some of it's based off of Scratch and Makey boards. So they'll make musical instruments, video game controllers, lots of other really cool projects. And then the other one that's just circuit makers, they're using those circuit boards with like lights and sensors, buzzers, switches, so they get to make custom design greeting cards, electric games, mazes, all kinds of wild things. It's amazing.
Go.
I know. It's pretty cool.
So there's as well, I think there's a lot of outdoor opportunities, sports. I think I saw a sailing camp, a fishing camp.
Yes, yeah, and those two are really unique to Littleton only. So the sailing program, again, we've been doing for an extremely long time. It's really fantastic because the kids get the experience hands-on, and they get the opportunity to work with sunfish, open skiffs. If they're really interested, they can do canoeing, kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, things like that. They learn all of the knots. They learn about weather. They learn about hydrology. Like it's a really amazing program if you've never done sailing, to learn everything in just 1 week. And those kids just become like pros by the end of the week. It's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then as well, there's a fishing program.
Yes. So this one we actually started, I want to say it was probably about like 3 or 4 years ago. And it's been really great every year. So the kids, it's again down at Long Lake. So they get to learn how to care for the equipment. I don't know if a lot of people realize, but there's a lot of fishing in Long Lake.
Yes. My
It's
boys are big fans of fishing. They're there a lot.
I love it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So these kids get to, again, learn how to tie the knots. They get to learn, how to do the casting, baiting the lines, understanding fish habits. So we do try to get some more of that like science background into it, I guess biology. And they get to go, they're there on the edge of the lake, and then they actually get to take the kayaks out and go fishing too. So, the program kind of progresses as the kids progress. So, if we have like a whole bunch of people that have been, fishing forever, we have a really amazing person that instructs that program. He might have a couple of those kids do some more advanced things, and then have another group of kids work on some beginner stuff. So,
I think we're going to have to sign up for that. It's funny because my
really
son
great.
was saying the other day, he's like, everybody shows you on YouTube when they say how to fish, they just mean how to cast. But like, what do you do? Like, what do you have to do before you cast? I don't know how to like bait the hook. I don't know how to do this and that. And
Everything.
this is,
From start to finish. And you can bring your own rods, or we have them for kids to use. So it's not something that, you have to have previous experience. You can just jump right in for the first time.
Let's talk about sports.
Oh, sports camps is one of those big things that we definitely run. So
And it's not just the typical, there's soccer and there's basketball, which are some of the go-tos, but there's some really
kind of different
cool
things.
stuff too, right?
Yeah. So I didn't write down all of the information because we have pretty much every week there's different options. So you can definitely go on the website and look at the programs. But the areas we've got, like you said, soccer, baseball, mountain biking is one that we've done the last couple of years, which is really cool because the vendor that we use ends up taking the kids out to different locations where they actually go and mountain bike in the local region.
Nice.
So there's flag football, which is becoming extremely popular.
Huge.
Golf, volleyball, track and field, which is actually, we have 2 different versions of it, and both of them are taught by either a Littleton teacher or by a track coach for the Littleton public schools.
Nice.
So that's a really great experience to kind of have that connection back to the public schools. Street hockey, which is a unique one. We don't seem to have it around here, but I see like, out in Leominster and things like that, they have huge deck hockey rinks and stuff like that.
Yep.
So it's cool to be able to get that experience. And then just like multi-sport stuff. So a mix of a whole bunch of different things.
And so some of these are taking place in Littleton, but some of them, it's the mountain biking, and some others, they're going off-site and going
Yep.
to other facilities as well.
I would say the mountain biking is probably the only one, just because they need to go out and access those trails that they can ride. But everything else, they will be here in town. I'm trying to think if they're, it's pretty much all in town.
So that's mostly the grade school age kids, the things we've been talking about so far.
Yeah.
But you've got stuff for teens as well.
We do. So we have a Teen Adventures program. And this is a field trip program. So there's about 7 weeks of this program as well. And with that one, the kids get to go and do a ton of different things. We started it out and we really wanted it to be kind of nature-based. And we found that's great, kids love hikes, but they also want to do some other really cool stuff too. So we started mixing it up a bit. So, we do all kinds of crazy stuff. Like they do go on hikes throughout the summer, but there's a museum of ice cream in Boston that they go to.
Who knew?
I know, Boundless Adventures, which is a high ropes course. They're amazing. Level 99, which is actually out in Natick. If you haven't gone there,
Yes.
it's really cool.
I've heard that's fantastic. I haven't gone, but
Go. It's the neatest thing ever. So it's like if you took escape rooms, but instead of getting the 60-minute time frame, it's you go in, if you messed up, you get kicked out immediately and have to
so
start over.
that's like Bodeborg.
It
then.
is very much like
Okay,
Bodeborg,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Nice.
But the stuff that they have, so they have rooms, but there's also things on the outside that you can, it's just so engaging. It's awesome.
And so it's a different field trip every day. for the
Every
kids.
single day we go on a different field trip.
Nice.
Yep.
And there's also some of the sports programs are open to the teenagers, to the teens and tweens as well, right?
Yeah.
And
I
then-
don't have those ones specifically written down, but
Yeah,
absolutely.
But it's worth checking into.
For sure.
And then I saw some other things that sounded more like almost like the LEAP program, but like there's a college essay writing class that's being offered this summer for the older teens.
Yeah, so we have, when it comes to the community education side, we try to be able to have programming for all ages. So, we do have things that are for specifically kids like that one where they're, graduating or need help being able to go through that process. We also have plenty of programs for adults. We have a amazing yoga teacher that does yoga on the beach. I believe it's every Tuesday and Thursday mornings. So, just for the parents, it's, you need recreation time too.
Right,
So
right.
we do have a lot of programs for all ages.
So if Jim doesn't want to do beach yoga,
Oh,
what else do you have in store for the adults this summer? I think there's Third Thursdays are back.
we do. Yeah. So those are special events. So we have Third Thursday, which is kind of our version of like, we'll call it like a local business market. So we have all kinds of vendors that come and set up. Sometimes it's at Fay Park. Sometimes we'll have it at the beach. We had an event a month ago that was Touch a Truck, and part of that was a children's entrepreneur market. So we're going to focus one of the Third Thursdays on one of the children's entrepreneur
Oh,
market,
fun.
which is the coolest thing because it's a nonprofit and they teach kids the whole process of like starting their own business.
Neat.
So they kind of come up with their own concept. If they're like, I don't know, making crafts and selling things. I ended up buying, there was a kid that made a dragon egg, and it was the coolest thing I ever saw.
Oh,
It was
wow.
made out of like foam and thumbtacks, and then just kind of like spray
Wow.
painted.
Oh, yeah. I could
So
see that.
creative. It was just amazing.
That's really neat.
I was like, here, take my money.
And then there's always the beach pass.
Always the beach pass, yep. So the beach is typically we open it full time after school lets out. So this year it'll be, I think it's June 21st is like that first weekend. But the passes go on sale, so a membership will get you access to the beach for the entire summer. You'll get a sticker for your car that lets you park there. And you'll get membership cards. So all you have to do is just swipe those when you go in, and you have access for the entire summer. We also offer day passes. So if you've got someone visiting from out of town, or we do have out of town visitors that definitely come. It's a great pond. So it's one of those things that everybody's got to have access to it. So if we have other folks from out of town that are coming to visit, they typically will do like a day pass. Where you just get like a wristband, and then you get a little tag for your car to say I paid my dues for the day.
Nice. And then on the other end of the spectrum, I saw there's some summer offerings for the real littlets as well, right? The preschool age.
Yeah. So the last year we have started really developing a preschool program. Right now during the school year, we have a program called Practice Preschool with Miss Kelly, and Miss Kelly is like a Pied Piper of children. She's just amazing. Tomorrow is her birthday, by the way, so
Okay,
happy birthday, Kelly.
birthday.
So those ages are 2, 3, and 4, and essentially, she's working with the kids to get them comfortable with leaving the house and, being in a educational environment, which can be really scary for kids for the first
sure,
time.
sure.
And like I said, she is just absolute magic. These kids love her, just are so excited to be there every single day. So in the summer, we're going to run a preschool program, which is kind of an extension of Camp T. And that will be Monday through Fridays, 8:30 to 12. And that will start on June 23rd and will go all the way through August 22nd. So it's a 9-week program.
And it's for folks who are interested in looking at the details on any of this stuff, it's the Parks and Rec website, right?
Yep. You can go to www.littletonrec.com. That's what it is.
Perfect.
Yep.
Did I say that there's an event tonight?
There is an event tonight. I didn't know if was going to mention it. I didn't know how long this would. If it was
You never
immediate.
know. You
Yeah.
never know who'll be able to catch us today.
Absolutely. So there is an open house for Camp Tehadawon. So we do this every year before camp starts. And the concept is, we're going to run through the parent handbook, tell everybody about like what to expect day in, day out. The kids get to actually meet their counselors ahead of time.
Nice.
So we do separate. So the counselors will take the kids to go play, and then the parents can stay and ask questions. So we will have all of that information available online. Usually we try to do like a day or two after we do the program, because usually there's a little bit of editing. But we'll go through everything anybody needs and then have a question and answer session. So it's if you're interested, not signed up yet, come on down and you can ask those questions and learn about the program.
Great. And that starts tonight.
Tonight at 6 p.m. at Shaker Lane.
Okay, perfect. Thanks very much.
You're very welcome.
This
Thanks for having
sounds
me.
fantastic. I
Yeah.
wish you and all the Parks and Rec folks lots of success
Thank you.
this summer and good weather.
Yes. That's helpful.
Yeah.
And that'll be it for today. Thanks so much, Alicia. Thanks, Jim.
Absolutely.
And
you.
Littleton will see you again in a couple weeks.